So tonight we did the Creative Memories project recipe in a traditional scrapbooking layout, but I wanted to walk through a couple of things about doing this digitally. So this is the original layout from Creative Memories, and a couple of things to point out. They have this Rick Rack border maker cartridge. So they have 3 of them on the right page, 4 of them on the left page. It's because they've got one that's they actually cut in half traditionally. They've got this one photo double matted. They've also got pockets that they created for these various photos. It's really kind of a nice layout. It's got 8 different photos, so quite a bit of things going on. So if you take a look at it, the traditional layout uses this rickrack chain, and you could see all of these nice little denim pockets. So I wanted to show how to make some of this on a digital layout. So I'm going to go ahead. This layout is not really symmetrical, so I can't, once I create one side, I can't easily create the other side, but I can create one of these rick racks and then copy and paste it for all the rest of them. So I think that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with the left-hand page, and the left-hand page is, I'm going to insert a shape, a rectangle. And this one is going to be, it should be 6 by 10. And that is the first sheet, and it's going to start at the 1. So I'm going to have that be at the 1 inches. So it's actually symmetrical on the top and the bottom. And now I'm going to insert a second shape, and that one is also going to be 6, but this one's going to be by 12. I'm going to go ahead and fill it with a different color. And this one is at 6. And then there are a couple of 2 photo mats over on top of this one. So we're going to go ahead and do that one. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill this with a really dark blue. And this one is going to be 4 by 4. And actually that was wrong. It should have been 4.5 by 4.5. And the nice thing about didn't make a mistake like that, you didn't actually waste cutting your paper. So there's that one. And now I'm just going to copy and paste it, and I'm going to do this next one, and this one needs to be 6.5 inches tall. So those are those 2 photo mats. And these have photos. This one is a 4 by 4. And this one, I believe, is a 4 by 6. And that's that. So then the other thing that they had, I'm going to just show the recipe again. So I've done these. This one was a double matted photo, so I'll go ahead and do that. So the photo over there was a 4 by 6 photo. So I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to just copy. I'm going to copy these 2 and paste them over here. And I'll recenter them. And since this was 4.5 by 6.5, I'm going to go ahead and just copy it again, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm making 5 by 7. And since it needs to be underneath the other ones, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and change that color so we can tell the difference. So now those are all aligned, and it's like that. Okay, so now the only thing I think I'm really missing off of this page is that rick rack. So I want to show how to do that because I think it's kind of a different thing that we have to do in order to make this. So I do not have a shape that actually is a rick rack. So I can't just go ahead and, drag that on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make something that's big enough, and I'm going to use one of my cutters in order to do that. So we'll create this. So it's 3 by 12. And I am going to go into my cutters straight and a shaped edge. It says it has to flatten, and that's okay. So I do have this shape here that is a wave that comes in our normal edges. And I think from that I can make a pretty decent, nice one that will probably look like this. So I have already kind of set it up. You can expand it, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. You can change the spacing, you can change the aspect ratio. There's a lot that you can do with it. So when you've got something that you think that you like, you can go ahead and cut it. And I think I want to keep the unshaded area. So now that I've got this, what I want to do is I want to cut it again, but I want to be sure that I end up with the peak right where the little peak is in the blue paper. So I'm going to go ahead and get it set up to cut again. So shaped edge, and it should remember everything that I just did. And I'm going to go ahead and swap the shaded and the unshaded so I can visualize it a little bit better. So I think something like that. Is pretty close. So I want to keep, again, the unshaded. So that's that. So now I've got kind of a rickrack. And again, you can change the spacing. You can change it so that it is a little bit closer together or farther apart. But now that I've got this, I can copy and paste it, and I can use it multiple times on both layouts. So I'm just going to copy and then paste, and I can line it up. And now I need to shift all these things over. And if I want to take this and I want to copy it and I want to rotate it in half, and I want to cut it in half, I'm going to use my straight edge. At 0 degrees, and it comes up right at 6, so I should be good to do that. So now I should keep both areas, and I can cut, and I can move one to the bottom and one to the top. So now that's the one page. And while I said that you really didn't need to be mirroring this one, I think you can actually do it. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate this page. Actually, I'm just going to duplicate. And now I'm going to select everything on my page but my background. And I'm going to group it all together, and then I'm going to rotate it. And now I'm going to ungroup it, and I'm going to make the adjustments to the thing. So this may not have been the easiest way to have done this. Actually, I think I'm going to regroup it, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit more. Right. Now ungroup. All right. So I don't need these. And now these were both 5 by 12. And that was an inch from the bottom. Now this one's 5 by 12. Okay. And now I've got the 3 rickracks. So I need to make one more. Slip that behind. And now I've got more photos than I really need. So there were 2 5x3 photos. And the mats behind them were 3.5 by 5.5. All right, and I think we're in pretty good shape. And then in some ways, like I was talking about the traditional layout, if you happen to look at that one, there are a couple of options for the pockets. You could actually create prop pockets. You could decide to not create pockets. All right, now I'm just putting the pictures on there. So if I save this page and I view the 2 of them together, that's pretty much what we have. And I can go ahead and then fill them in with various content. So I'm going to make this the background. I'm using Wanderlust because I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And I'm filling these rickracks with paper instead of doing just a solid color. I may change my mind later. So that is pretty much an example of what we can do with this layout digitally. It's a very versatile layout and has a lot of possibilities for what we could do with it. So if you do have the CM project recipe information, or you can go on to our Facebook page and get it. I recommend trying this one. I think this one's a good one. I think using the rickrack and the cutters is definitely a nice option and something that we don't do very often. But I think it turns out to have a really nice look to it. So,
yeah, that's cool.
decided I'd try to go back to one of the paper collections that we haven't used in a while. All right. So again, a very versatile layout, something we could do. And I'm thinking looking at this, I think I'm liking the idea of maybe filling it with black. What do you think?
I was going to suggest that, but I wasn't sure what you were up to.
Well,
that would look really good with black, but I'm not saying anything because I was like, I don't know what.
no, it's all good.
What's black? That's amazing.
And the nice thing is, sometimes you don't know until you get there what color is going to look good, but with digital, you can change it.
That's the cool thing, huh?
And one additional thing is, if you wanted to, you could actually go ahead and put a surface filter on here. I have to move my stuff out of the way. So I'm taking a look. What I'm thinking I'm thinking maybe this denim might look kind of nice with that. So you can't see it very well, but I think it definitely adds to it. And you'd be able to see it, you know,
Oh, yeah, cool.
so it's not quite the same as the rickrack that ribbing that
Mm-hmm,
I have.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if I
All
don't
right,
think
it's just me, but your red behind your photos thing, your photo mats would look better in black. When you put your photos on them, I don't know, but right now they would look better with black. I don't feel like the red. I mean, is there red in the background paper? Is there like a little tinge of red?
there is red in the
Okay,
background paper.
all right.
Um, but I can fill them with
Yeah,
black.
I mean, depending on your photos, black might not be the best, depends on whatever
Right.
your photos are, but
And then I'm thinking
that
with
one
this
looks
one,
okay with the black and the red, both.
but I'm wondering if I should change it to the green because then it kind of
Oh,
matches.
good point. Oh, the whole, yeah. Oh, yeah. Then it kind of has more of a monochromatic look. I like that. Yeah.
All
Ooh,
right.
I like it.
All right. Well, good.
Nice.
Excellent. So again, a
Mhm.
really versatile layout, and I think that everybody who used it tonight traditionally um, really had some good success with it. And the Rick Rack Border Maker cartridge from Creative Memories is really nice, but definitely something I don't do very often here on traditional or on digital. But we did have somebody do it digitally tonight, and so they'll be sharing it into our creative, consistently creative croppers Facebook page. So you'll be able to go check out some additional layouts there. So thank you for watching, and we will look forward to seeing you at another event.
Looks good.
Can you stop the recording?
Yes.